Jens already going for a tavern build. Firelord, like I mentioned earlier, has been very, very popular on ladder. Maybe not as much in like the classic Night Elf players like Foggy, like the Sonics, the people that have been around for a long time. But I feel like the new school Night Elf players, like the Jens, like the Hitman playing Elf, a lot of Firelord going on between these guys.
Yeah, I feel like Jens has done this before in the DWCC qualifier versus Foggy last time as well, twice, Firelord. And I think he also did this to Sonic, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very cool style. Lots of piercing damage against potential Huntress. That's good. On most maps, it's also nice to creep. There it is. The calls, Carson, the calls. And yeah, just mass plus great against the Demon Hunter with Soul Burn and great damage with Incinerate. And he decides to go Incinerate first.
Love to see it. The trades can be good. Immolation is going to drain mana very, very quickly. That's the last hit there with Incinerate as well. And yeah, Demon Hunter is going to be super low on mana and be low on health due to this Firelord just pressuring him. Look at the damage. Archer gets ensnared. I don't think Jens cares, though. Just keep attacking that Demon Hunter. The Moonwells are going to be dry.
Jens got 2 last hits.
Nicely done. 64 experience there in the pocket.
How do you know that?
I used the old school observing. No overlay, no advanced overlay, nothing.
Wow. Carson living in
Classic.
early 2000s. Nice little flex by Jens as well. Saves the Wisp to the side, had a little bit of a body block, more damage, and Foggy seems completely overrun by this Firelord.
He's got only 2 Moonwells. He drinks them dry right now, and Demon Hunter's still low. Firelord's still healthy as ever. Is Foggy just dying, Neo?
It, at the moment, sure looks like it. The Shadow Melt is insane, similar to the Wisp save before. Yo, if anyone had a doubt that Jens is maybe a bit demotivated from the loss against Starbuck yesterday, hell no. The next flex with another Wisp block contesting the Demon Hunter at the shop could maybe wake up the creeps. A little too late for that. But Foggy, he's in trouble.
And Jens behind this, teching. Foggy, of course, doing the same. The tech's relatively similar. And Jens could just keep building archers and grab a Naga. I don't exactly know the ideal way to play Firelord first. I really have no idea, but I feel like some sort of tier 2 all-in with a second Tavern Hero could be really strong, especially with the state of the Demon Hunter currently. Foggy in no way is going to be able to expand, which I think were his initial intentions. Firelord, with Boots of Speed, could easily force the TP.
I agree. Archers more chip damage. I feel like triple hero is the play with Orb of Venom, if I remember this correctly. So there is a little bit of time for Foggy to recover. Next body block. He's in range again, and with boots, he can always chase. I think Foggy had no time to get the boots himself. Create some nice distance. Jens now for the first time standing still for a second. So Jens needs a little bit of time for tier 3 and Orbs. Foggy needs time to do anything. Jens dribbling around the Wisp block. And what? How many more hits does he need? 3. This might work out for Foggy after all.
Jens can, you get a little bit more range from manually casting that. That's how orbs work. Archers are there to block, but he wasn't able to reach. Manual cast or not, the archers are there to save the day. Moonwells, 4 of them up and regenerating for about 50% more of the nighttime that's left. Circlet's dropped, and Demon Hunter does manage to heal up. And there's still some moon juice left over. At the same time, Jens was creeping. Potion of Greater Heal, Ancient of War lives, and Naga second for both players. 2 of 3 ranged heroes. And no soul burn. It's lava spawn for the Firelord on level 2.
Bit disappointed. Foggy has arrived on tier 2. There will be Dryads, of course, as there always is. You need it versus Reju. You need it versus Roar. And then there shouldn't be a big longevity for these lava spawns. Maybe he's forcing some more Dryads then with that spell. But soul burn is so good against the Demon Hunter. I'd love to see it.
Foggy snags a marketplace item. Was hoping for a Healthstone or an Ankh, but gets a One to the Wind. Can be used for playmaking, but you need some more sustain against this Firelord, I feel like. And Foggy immediately pulls the shop as well. Is going to grab the item. Could be Bone Chimes. Could be a lot of great stuff for the Demon Hunter as well. So nice creep in there from Foggy. Does get Bone Chimes, but ends up being a Bear Mirror. Very, very strong item. Currently, Jens is the one going tier 3, but Foggy is not. So we'll see where the strategies end up. Tree of Life coming up now for Foggy. Kills that Scout Wisp as well.
Yeah, it's quite some signature play for Foggy in the mirror matches, similar to Moon. If he can go Mass Dryads and Expo, he'll try to go Expo Mass Dryads. And that is, of course, a nice counter to the Fire Lord, whose idea is, I think, to basically sacrifice the skill point for Lava Spawn to creep up a storm, get high levels, and then just overwhelm early tier 3.
Lava Spawns have helped a lot with the momentum in the early mid-game here. Creep Jack a little bit. Jens did not pick up that greater heal. It's still on the ground over by the Tuskar camp, so the trading maybe not going to be in favor. Naga can't be saved because of Wand of the Wind, otherwise maybe a TP would be swapped over. But Demon Hunter gets the last hit. Now pressure on Foggy's Naga, but there's just not enough damage for Jens. He's got to back away. And Foggy, expansion is up and not contested yet. Demon Hunter, be careful, my dude.
Ooh, the Wand of the Wind saving lives here. Disabling the Frost Arrow, now disabling the damage dealer that is the Fire Lord. Detonate coming in for a huge double kill. The Shredder, for some reason, is slowed. I don't know how you freeze a Shredder, but Foggy makes it work. This Naga has some magic arrows. And that was supposed to be the damage dealer, but it's gone now as well. First exclamation mark by Foggy in this best of 5.
Those claws +8 that Jens just found are helping a lot in the trades to sort of even it up a tiny bit, but Foggy, obviously, with that hero kill, is in a better position. A double Ancient of Wind coming up as well. Maybe more Cyclone to break the chain of Incinerate damage. Could be very, very strong to stop what might be triple orb eventually, but Jens tier 3 is done. Master thing for the Bears is going to be done, and I do wonder if we're going to see Keeper third, Bottom third, probably Keeper third. We are going to get that tri-range hero setup.
Yeah, nice setup, man. Western Night Elf Mirror is the best Night Elf Mirror. I keep saying it over the course of the past 3 days. Bears versus Talons is surely an exciting matchup. Cyclone was good here, you said it. Cyclone will be good down the road, especially since Jens is skipping Dryads for now.
Jens doesn't have the production currently. Maybe he wants to hit a timing on the Expo if he knew about it. The Wisp obviously died before the tree was built, but maybe through the Archer count, Jens could devise that there was an expansion that came up eventually. His scouting has certainly been good so far. And is that another Claws +8? My god, these heroes.
Yeah, back to the question if you even need units. I mean, they will have Roar and Reju, so the Bears are nice support for the damage dealers that will be the heroes. We'll see if we get another. Like, what is there? Bottom, of course. Keeper could be nice. Dark Ranger could be nice. With Life Drain, quite a nice tank later on.
Ring down. Creeping up the spiders, but with very few units. Foggy, Scroll of Healing. Potion of Healing, obviously. When you play double Ancient of Wind, healing becomes your main issue because you do not have Rejuve. You don't have anything like an Alchemist or otherwise, so making sure to grab those heal scrolls from the single shop we have here on Northern Isles. Lava Spawn again going to assist Jens in what seems to be a red camp being attempted. It's ambitious, but it's very doable. Foggy is here and scouts it immediately, however.
Nice. Disruptive Demon Hunter has a potion, has a staff, should be fine. Waiting for his tier 3 to pay off with the talents coming in without Cyclone. It's not that long though, but it surely is a bit of a power spike for Jens because Foggy has not much against the Bears. The positioning is favorable. Nice arrival of a new bear with new Reju. Needs the second one though because these bears are fragile.
One bear goes down, no staff available. TP is swapped over. Naga also being focused on the side of Foggy. Takes a lot of damage but backs away. Foggy does have the staff, by the way. Ancient of War now going to be killed. I do wonder if Foggy has enough damage. Maybe he can just grab the item. It's risky, but Foggy should be okay. He's going to have to run away immediately after grabbing this item, however. It's Legion Doomhorn, more healing.
Nice. That's what you want to preserve some Moon Juice. Now, TP home. Might have seen Jens somewhere. Expensive, but the safe play. And Jens now. There is a Shredder. He's only on one base though. Dryads coming against the Cyclone, and because they're magic immune, can't be cycloned themselves, and poison damage is always good to have. But Jens has to act. He's under pressure. Foggy's on the 2 bases. Same tech. That's never good. So almost do or die.
Foggy the first to go for a third hero as well. Keeper is about to be out. 3 bears. Wisp coming in for the detonate on the Lava Spawn. it's going to be all focus on the heroes. I would imagine for probably both players. Who's going to run out of healing first? Zapper comes in, just I guess to deal with the Ancient War and get some Wisps as well. Almost gets a bunch of them, but not enough damage. Ancient War, the blockade for these Talons is now gone.
That surely helps. Opens up the play for the Fire Lord, who has Lava Spawn 2. A bit of Soul Burn, so that was close. Cyclone just a second before. Demon Hunter now does barely any damage, almost minus damage, but had a potion, is focused again. Naga trying to slither away, has an Invo potion, needs it soon, gets it now. Fire Lord on the ground again, but these bears, man, I don't feel the impact.
Oh, Naga sapped out. There's not a lot of mooters at home. He's going to have to buy potions, Foggy. Demon Hunter is doing some good damage. There might be out of Cyclone soon. The Wisps that came in to detonate were already used. Entangle is there. Naga is dead. And Foggy, despite the terrible early game, he was under pressure. The expansion works again for him. Third game in a row now.
Hot damn, dude. Going 3-0. And let's be honest, he wasn't really challenged in late game fights today. Not by Sonic and not by Jens. This creep jack on the right-hand side, I feel like ruined Jens' momentum completely. Everything looked good up until then. He wanted to creep up with the help of lava spawns, but Foggy, very disruptive at the right time, at the right place, with the right damage, and from there on out, almost smooth sailing. But this did not look like it's gonna be a one-sided series.
And sometimes I feel like we'll see Ancient War at the Mercenary camp, but for neither player today, I think you're bang on with the fact that Foggy's going to get that green camp in the center. He's going to have the clicker level 2. Jens, Ancient of Wonders, no Tree of Life yet. I would expect to see one eventually. He doesn't have the resources currently, but we will probably see at least an attempted Tree of Life at some point. Immolation. This is what Foggy went for last game as well when he was creeping his expansion. Now Jens does that. Foggy gets close with haste and goes towards the center while the Archer finishes off his creeping. And then aggression will start. We'll see if Jens plants down that tree or will he try to defend the Demon Hunter first.
Okay, creep spot's finished. Ooh, Foggy with the Hunter's Hall Ancient of War. And that is pretty aggressive towards the natural of Jens. High pressure play by Foggy. He, I think, feels pretty much at home with hunts in general, but paired with the Demon Hunter, not with the Potamus Very.
Yeah, Foggy has yet to scout that, but probably has a good idea of what's going on. Wisp is saved again for Jens, and Foggy gonna get mana burnt. No more, because Jens is out of mana. Finds the tree, but probably not enough damage to cancel that with these items at least. And Archer going to act as a ward as Foggy maybe backs up and creeps a little bit closer to home. He needs some time before he has any Huntresses, before he can really do anything. But eventually, Foggy's going to be much more aggressive.
Exactly. Very good timing by Foggy to scout this. It was the last second of daytime when he was here at the bottom left. With that, he had increased vision and saw that tree. If he arrives 3 seconds later, it's nighttime, and he doesn't. So, bit unlucky for Jens, who is on his home turf now in a defensive position. That's where he likes to be up until the first 15 minutes of the game, to then charge up and punch and knock his opponent out. So he's trying to force his game onto Foggy, who also doesn't feel too uncomfortable with Huntress and AP pushes, so both can play what they like to play.
Speed and Dust. Foggy used that Archer to scout this. Finds one of Jens' archers out of position. Ensnared will get that kill. If he had more health, could maybe chase down another one, but still good damage done when Foggy doesn't really have much units on the map currently. Jens, he's trying to creep up slowly to level 3, but he's going to need to take a bigger camp than this in order to get it. Maybe the Mercenary camp, or maybe, a couple more greens after this. Hunter's Hall is the target. Can Foggy actually cancel that? That would be very ambitious.
That happens once in a blue moon, that a build Hunter's Hall is cancelled during the production. And that is not the case here. A little bit of chip damage, and we go into a Demon Hunter Huntress Mirror. That's odd. That is not something I expected to see today.
Very odd indeed. I mean, I suppose Jens is going to have more stuff. He builds an AP as well. I love the SimCity at the expansion for Jens. Nicely done so far. A little block. The AP is pretty safe. Goldmine can't be canceled without the Demon Hunter being a serious risk. And yeah, the first Huntress is coming up. Hidden Ancient Protector for Foggy to the north of Jens' base. Immediately scouted. Immediately scouted, as long as he actually saw it.
Ooh. You should have. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Wisps are moving into that position, probably with a 2-pronged attack here with 4 hunts and the strong Demon Hunter against most the archers. Jens' transition still takes some time.
Pressure on the Demon Hunter of Jens. Going to have to heal up with a lot of Moon Juice. He's out of mana and low on health. That's a deadly combination, especially with only, I guess, 2 Moonwells at home. Does he have some at the expansion? Yeah, just 1 at the expansion. APs, even though they're scouted, are not going to be easily canceled. Is Jens, I said this last game at the start, but now the roles reverse. Is Jens just dead?
Oh my. Maybe you jinxed it now, but I mean, what's supposed to save him? Foggy's just clicking on the tree with a whole new garden growing in Jens's front yard, but he ain't too pleased about that. What a play by Foggy. That makes him so dangerous. He's so unconventional.
Yeah, I think Foggy was a little bit afraid to get blocked in there. Maybe wants to be a bit defensive. Could have probably killed that tree, but wants the more secure play. He knows he's got Ancient Protectors coming up. He knows there's no easy way for Jens to deal with those. Pressure on both Demon Hunters. Maybe that's the way for Jens to get out of this. Just focus the hero, and then the units will fall afterwards. Counter APs coming up in the back. Foggy, does he want to dive deeply in order to cancel those? Doesn't seem like it. Jens with chances to hold, but 3 Ancient Protectors are up for Foggy.
God damn, the damage is laid to Jens easily. Foggy has some balls going this aggressive against the best defensive Night Elf that we have in the Western scene. But yeah, what's left, man, the Glaive Throwers not be coming out. That would have been the solution against the APs. And also the Huntress, a super important unit. Both Demon Hunters flirting with death. But Foggy's Hunters are just flirting with the tree and might just go down now. Second try and over.
2 APs coming up. Demon Hunters both pressured. Jens loses that first hero. Foggy has an aggressive Moonwell to heal his up. Oh, Huntress is not attacking the tree anymore. APs get up and Whisper able to repair. Demon Hunter no doubt has to be Tavern revived, but he won't come back that healthy. And AP's up for both players. Of course, Jens is on 2 bases the whole time, and they're both tier 1, so they're even economy even if this tree goes down, but still the issue becomes just the army supply.
That's right. Demon Hunter for Foggy, 50% again. Jens is... oh, not 50%, sorry. Jens at 50%. Foggy is struggling a little with health, but he's doing so much structural damage. Has a Glaive Thrower himself. The holding APs cost a lot of resources. Alta is down. I'm still torn if this is enough, though.
Yeah, the Foggy's base is still kind of up, not necessarily operational, but again, he's just rebuilding Jens at his expansion. Building archers now, maybe preparing for the future of one base. Foggy could just plant a Tree of Life down after he cleans up this tree. Immolation, trying to fight the Huntresses, but now healing going to become an issue yet again for Jens, whereas Foggy is happy and healthy, still has a full Moonwell at home. And his Demon Hunter is coming back with full HP. I think Jens has maybe traded a bit too much. Maybe had to give up this tree earlier as opposed to trying to hold it. Because now, how do you heal? You're going to lose your Demon again. Down to the Huntresses. This has to be 2-0. Yeah, there's the GG.
Foggy showing who is boss today. Sonic wasn't a competition. And it also proves to be that Jens is no competition. On paper, when you look at numbers... MMR, ELO, they're all even. Also tournament results here in the Western scene. They were super even. But they play against each other and Foggy got the prep down. This is always his big strength. If you give him some time to prepare for a certain opponent, he just comes more prepared than others. And I'm really happy to see that he puts his mind to this tournament and invested quite some effort. He has been streaming a lot less in preparation to this tournament. And Jens seems overwhelmed every step of the way.
Yeah, so far, really no struggles. He's on his 5th map in 1 hour, pretty much. And that's with vetoes, that's with hosting. He has been steamrolling everybody so far. We'll see, Foggy. Demon Hunter this time, Jens with a 3rd different hero. We like to see the variety, and Jens is providing it. Keeper this time on Hammerfall. Ancient Wars for both players at the expansion. Very, very standard on Hammerfall if you like to creep the Sexpo first.
This is how we got to know Jens in professional Warcraft competitions. He surprised us all. That was the War 3 Champions Finals versus Colorful, where he was down 0-2. And he almost made it a 3-2. So comeback potential is surely there. If you can beat a Colorful, you can beat anyone in Night Elf Mirror in the world on a good day. Hopefully, his mental strength is good enough here today. Hopefully, he's not giving up just yet. Especially in mirror matches, when you get the momentum, everything can shift and switch in very little time. And now, with his strategy on his map, gotta be something going on.
Starts off with the Ring of Regen from the expansion. That's quite a nice find. Demon Hunter for Foggy gets a circlet. Jens goes forward. Is he looking for a tree cancel? Doesn't find it. I mean, if Foggy had placed it down immediately... Oh, well, he does. But there's Wisps here to detonate. This is very greedy, I feel like, for Foggy, though. Just do it right in front of the hero.
And it is a cancel. Getting punished for it right away. He had a Wisp at the ready, but he needs 2 Wisps for the full detonate. Didn't hit the first one, and that makes it a little bit weird in terms of trades. Is it really worth it to give up another Wisp for a little bit more damage and 1 guaranteed kill? Can I get the second kill? Lots of decisions have to be made in very little time. No-brainer, though, is to give this up to the community, at least for a Grey Dwarf. Thank you very much for supporting Moogle Code.
Thank you, thank you. This is the first time today we've seen both players fast expanding. We saw attempted counter expands, but I feel like we haven't seen both players successfully get a Tree of Life before teching. It seems like that'll be the case now. Demon Hunter aggressive for Foggy, but just trading. He realizes Jens is out of mana on the Keeper, so the trades are favoring Foggy because he has mana on the Demon Hunter, so the Moonwells are going to be more efficient for him if he trades.
Also, he has evasion. There's always a chance to dodge this attack, but the Keeper found the perfect item for these trades. With the Ring of Regeneration, this will save a couple of Moon Juice points. Expo 50% on the left-hand side. Expo 50% on the right-hand side. 2 base, Night Elf Mirror. I'm ready.
Yeah, we'll see if they just decide to go Mass Huntresses again out of this, but I think that is more if you're trying to all-in the expansion, which honestly seemed like a great option for Foggy last game. He seemed to have no real issues closing that game out. Maybe if Jens could scuttle the AP a bit better, but yeah, we'll see. Probably will be a tech for both in no time. Foggy a little bit later on his tech because he, of course, had to cancel that tree one time, lost a little bit of resources, mostly lumber, of course. So both players will be teching. And the creeping continues as well.
Okay, yeah. In creeping, Jens should be favored thanks to Treants. Having summons is always better in creeping than having no summons. Rule of thumb, I guess. Nova can still talk a different story, tell a different story, but in this case, it surely is the case. Demon Hunter, well equipped. Scroll of the Beast for Jens, probably a sell if he's not going for some weird no Dryad, no Bear timing, but I don't think that is the case. A stable early game for both of them, which is definitely better for Jens here than it was last game.
Yeah, Jens gets to go into a game that he's comfortable with. He wants the macro game. He likes the 2-base games. So he's going to be happy with this result after the early. Foggy maybe is the one to typically go for all-ins. And for now, he just keeps building archers. That is 7 archers for Foggy, whereas Jens, is he continuously producing off that Ancient Award? Doesn't seem like it right now. So Foggy going to have map control, especially at tier 2. But Jens maybe could use that Scroll of the Beast if they fight early on. For now, just trying to get the shop, trying to get level 3. Does. Sells the Scroll, gets Talisman of Evasion, level 3, but immediately mana burned. No spells for you, Keeper.
Yep, that is the downside if you choose to play Keeper. Jens is surely used to this situation. The strength of the Keeper will unfold later on when he carries an Orb, and maybe we go into Thorn's Aura if bears are the way. Foggy, though, huge beeline with a lot of archers and a late Hunter's Hall. Bit confused by that. But okay, maybe he wanted to go into mass range and now sees that it's not really working out that way. Regardless, he has the upper hand right now.
Yeah, 1 extra archer, Wisps aggressively there. Of course, doesn't want to lose any archers out of position to entangle. Even if Jens just has a little bit of mana, he can still get value in that way. Pit Lord second looks weird, but very standard with the Keeper. Again, just to make up for the lost auto attack damage in your army when you don't have a Demon Hunter. So he's looking for some nice items now. There's still a few camps, the shop, and this camp he's creeping right now to get some items for the Pit Lord. But other than that, he's going to have to rely on Surplus to bonus the damage.
I'm very surprised he's saying somewhat standard. I'm pogging out here. Brutilis. I love when Night Elves go for Pit Lord, whether as a third or second hero. I am very surprised. I don't think I've seen this as a second hero. Can do a lot, especially right now. But know-how, only quote-unquote level 1 cleave. Let's see how this works out, man. At the moment, Jens again seems to be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, the Naga is the standard hero for a reason. It's so good early tier 2, but there was no meeting at the tavern for the trading of cold arrows. It's just a Pit Lord running away. Both heroes out of mana thanks to the Demon Hunter, and Jens has to delay. He's obviously going to be favored in the late game. Pit Lord better than Naga, Thorn Zora probably better than Mana Burn later on when it is bear versus bear, but for now we run around the map pretty much until Foggy decides to leave us alone.
Damn, this is an annoying style. Demon Hunter can basically take on the entire army by itself for like 30 seconds. And then just moves away, heals up, comes back in. Gonna get the Reader, gonna get the Roar, as you said. So when is Jens gonna have a power spike in this game exactly?
I do not know at this point. It seems like Foggy's staying on tier 2. No, he goes tier 3 now, I guess, because he's comfortable. Block with the Wisp is nice. Items could be swapped, and it will be the TP. And maybe now Jens gets a break because he pulled Foggy across the map, but still Foggy aggressive with the rest of the units as well. No healing for Jens either.
Damn, this is trouble. At least you got the Shredder tier 3, and then Reju will kick in. But Foggy, man, he is not allowing Jens an inch on this map. I did not foresee the series to be so one-sided, man. Foggy is dictating every single map.
He's still very, very healthy. Jens again has to sort of run across the map just to funnel Foggy in a different direction. Sapper for Foggy. Realizes maybe the Moonwells are a little bit clumped together. I mean, Foggy's about to supply block Jens and probably just win the game with the Sapper right now. How does Jens hold? He's got no health. He's got no heroes to really win the fight. Naga and Demon Hunter are so much stronger. And now he is supply blocked with only one single bear about to come out.
It's so expensive. 360 gold, 80 lumber, which he can't really spare right now. Jens is going double shop for double orb. He will have extra gold, but Foggy brings the Zeppelin, picks up the archers. It feels like he's somewhat styling on Jens now, who's forced into a heal scroll early in the fight. Zeppelin to the rescue. Gorgeous Warcraft Foggy.
No units lost for Foggy. Bear gets a rejuve off, but mana burnt again, and Foggy is happy, seems like, with the damage that he's done. 1,200 gold for him. For Jens, about 900. So Foggy with a hero level advantage and currently an economic advantage just in the amount of gold banked before breaking upkeep. Soon, no doubt, Foggy, though, will have to spend those resources. Double Moonwell coming up, and Foggy's tier 3 quite a bit delayed, so he's doesn't have bears for another couple of minutes around there. So maybe that's the time for Jens to stabilize a little bit, because he's got bears.
True that. So then, in the late game, if we get Thorns on the Keeper and Howl plus Cleave on the Pit Lord, that's the way Jens can win this.
Yeah. Keep on creeping. Keep getting items for the Pit Lord. He's got a couple more opportunities to get the extra damage that he wants. Foggy continues to be aggressive. Has Zeppelin, but hasn't healed up still. Pit Lord will get a parry up, not ideal. Wanted more damage, but gets more tankiness. Still okay. And Zeppelin drop, but is this really a fight that Foggy wants? Maybe being a little bit over-aggressive now with this confident play.
Had a heal scroll, brings in the bear, that's the redo. There is a few dispels. Should be fine. Pit Lord in a wonderful position with the cleave, hitting 3 targets. Damage is ramping up to 2.4k already. Invo potion there to save him as well. Fork lightning in the back, barely tickling. That was close. He was fumbling that town portal just a little bit. but at the right moment, at the right spot, with the right click, and he's home now. Can unfold more bears, but that is maybe the red spot for Jens.
Yeah, Jens maybe getting a little bit more comfortable now. He's able to spend his resources, not supply blocked. His economy is good with that shredder you mentioned earlier, and maybe he can get another orb soon. Pit Lord gets level 3, actually gets gauntlets as well, which is nice. So Pit Lord's got acceptable items. And Foggy heals up. Foggy's suffering on the lumber side of things. He did not get a shredder. He does have quite a few wisps, but not as comfortable. It might result in a lack of upgrades for Foggy. 2-1 currently for Jens, and 1-0 only for Foggy.
We get the Tomb of Retraining for the Thornzora that we mentioned. Jens with great shop control for the double heal scroll. Items for the Pit Lord I think are phenomenal. Super tanky. If Foggy decides to attack him, that is. 1250 HP is nuts. Having evasion and a little bit of extra damage as well. More bears, they're not morphed though. Still got the mana for it, and Tangle reigns supreme with no end snare nearby. Ooh, Foggy. High supply, high gold, but it's still in trouble as the big bad booty daddy trying to get a block in, but the Zeppelin saves lives.
Foggy's got to do something. He's got to do something quick. He's not going to get any further ahead. He's only going to suffer more as these heroes get higher level, as the armies get bigger, as the Thornzora will get more value, the Cleave will get more value. And he did retrain Jens into Thornzora level 2. He should be favored in the rest of the fights for the rest of the game on even supply.
Yeah, crazy how Jens had the vision for the late game this early on when he picked the Pit Lord. Surviving Foggy's power spike, creating the own power spike. I didn't see it. You pretended to not see it. Of course, you're an expert in everything and saw it all along. But yeah, this is a crazy, crazy Night Elf late game. And Foggy, I don't think you can win with bears at all.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I don't know what you do when you get in this spot. He goes for Keeper 3rd, which is great. He can get his own Thornzora. He does have another hero for Orb. I think Jens is more likely to stay on 2 heroes to try to level up the Pit Lord a little bit more. He's going to have his own opportunity to return some of that damage. He's got lots of gold, Foggy. Maybe he can try to even up the upgrade situation. Jens is still ahead in that regard. Not producing more upgrades right now, however. And there is one more red camp left over. The remnants of the shop that was kind of crept earlier. A couple of creep camps left. Maybe Foggy could try to fight for those, get his Naga to level 3. Because he's seriously underleveled right now. It felt like he had a lot of experience in the early game, but the Naga's still level 2. Amazes me.
Big true. Jens might stay on 2 heroes, but he's surely going for 3 bases. Foggy flying straight into the paws of the bears of Jens. Naga is always kind of nice when you have to lane, because the Fork Lightning is so good against Wisps, and that can hurt in the lumber department. But if you have a Shredder, there's already a solution to that. Jens should surely expect this Zeppelin drop now, which is coming. We have a Wisp scouting out the 3rd base. This could be bombed with Sappers again. Oh, Naga coming in here. Might be able to do something about it. And maybe Jens not as prepared as we thought he is.
Nice play from Foggy. That's exactly what he needs to do. TP's right on top of the doggy. You have to town portal, use the heal scroll. Okay, and he ends with the aggro TP. 1 bear saved into the Zeppelin. But Jens has to be on his tip, because if he didn't TP, he TP'd as soon as he saw that Zeppelin. If he didn't TP that early, if the Naga was maybe level 3 to one-shot the Wisps as opposed to needing to attack them afterwards, this Tree of Eternity would have died. That's a great play for Foggy, but he's used it now. Jens is going to be much more aware the next time it happens.
Right on. Also, Foggy a little bit unlucky. His second attack upgrade just finished when he had to TP out. If that comes online a little bit earlier, maybe a kill is possible too. Howl is great against such drops, as it reduces damage by 1/3 and even more later. Heal scrolls for Foggy, double staff for Foggy, double orb for Foggy. I like that inventory. 86 supply. He surely knows in a straight up fight he can't do anything. In a Night Elf mirror, when do you ever see high upkeep?
Yeah, Foggy's just going to try to kill these bases as much as he can. Try to spread Jens thin if he can. Finds the 3rd base. This, no doubt, could die. Jens going to TP back immediately. Is Foggy just going to click on it? No, it seems like he will hold his ground. He's ahead in supply, but not by much.
Okay, let's see what wins. Cleave, Howl, and Thorns, or the higher supply and Demon Hunter, Naga Keeper. Plus heal scroll advantage. Demon Hunter, oh, in trouble. But Staff out. Can he Staff back in? Yep, Staff should be ready. Great Rejukes, great Entangle. Foggy is bleeding, and the supply lead is clearly with Jens.
Oh, Pit Lord in the middle of everything right now. Wanted the win being used, which is nice, but I don't think Jens would need it to win this fight. If we look at the supply, it reads 52 to 73. The third base still remains, not fully mining, but I don't think Jens mines because his Pit Lord is now level 5. Greater heal still available that can be swapped over. Level 3 Thorns Aura, and Foggy finally loses the game today, and Jens is one step closer to tying things up.
He didn't mind, but he also totally didn't mind. Great vision by Jens to build this as the ultimate late game army. This was Trouble City for a while. Foggy couldn't go for the knockout punch though, mismanaging the resources a little bit when it comes to lumber. The Zeppelin drop didn't work. And Jens is a fighter. We've seen that before. He ain't giving up just because he's down 0-2. No. All the chances in the world still. Love to see the fighting spirit. Love to see the strategy unfold. Once again, a very atypical Night Elf mirror showing how good things can be if it's not a bear mirror.
Jens goes towards the green camp. If I had to guess, I would think this would mean Potom for Jens and Demon Hunter for Foggy, but it's easy to read too much into these things.
It is surely a bit more of a defensive stance for Jens. You don't want to expose your base to this Potom all-in, maybe with APs, if you creep at the shop. So having this Ancient of War closer to your base, I think, with Foggy being such a heavy AP push player, makes a lot of sense. Foggy, with that knowledge, can be a little bit of greedy, and it is Jens with the Potom and Foggy with the D, as you said.
Yeah, Foggy will go towards the shop. We'll be able to grab a circlet. Jens will be able to grab the item from the green camp and then go super aggro. It's actually possible if you grab the item and go straight across. Sometimes the player in Foggy's position can lack a little bit of repair. We've seen Ancient Wars die to the shop camp just because Searing Arrow does so much damage to buildings as well. So maybe Jens will choose aggression immediately. He knows where Foggy is positioned with his creeping. We'll see. Jens is no doubt going to be the first player to act. We'll see what he does.
Let's be honest, we've seen Ancient of War dying without Potoms too, and shouldn't be surprised if that happens, but that is mostly the Asian scene at the moment. Our Western players would never happen to them. I love the Searing Arrow. So Jens is going to poke, and mad respect for playing the fourth first hero in 4 games.
True. Yeah. He's played a different style every single game. We go to game 5. I don't know what he has available to him, but
Warden.
Here's the pressure. Searing Arrow. Warden first. Yeah, true. Warden against Demon Hunter. Seems like a reasonable matchup.
But against Potom would be great.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we've seen it before, right? Yeah.
Lowlight versus Moon was the series when both decided we ain't not going Demon Hunters anymore. That was a fun 3 days before everything moved back to Demon Hunter and Bears, and we were all sad and cried and comforted each other. Anyway, excellent Demon Hunter inventory for Foggy.
Yeah, can't complain. The nice thing about creeping the shop is you get access to that circlet right away. So even if you get a bad item from the Sasquatch, you can still grab a circlet for Jens. He was hoping for something other than a ring, helping with the trades a little bit, but not as much as the claws or maybe even close to haste would. Immolation is helping out. Both players are going to be low on mana and low on health. So the Moonwells are going to be soaked up pretty evenly. Maybe a TP could be forced. This could be risky for both players. Wisp comes in for the block. Look at the micro from Jens.
Boom!
Oh.
Double TP at exactly the same time. Beautiful exchange between them. When in Asia, oftentimes the Night Elf mirrors creep. Not here in the Western scene, everybody. Freaking great.
A player's forces are under attack.
And Tree of Life for Jens now, too. In all that pressure, a Tree of Life was built. Jens knew if he traded down to that low, he would at least succeed in his second base not being cancelable. So that was a tactical fight by Jens. He wasn't just trading because he didn't know what else to do. for Foggy. He was trading because he had the better items and the higher level hero. He felt stronger, but the Wisp block allowed Jens to force the TP on both sides. Staff of Teleportation now for Foggy because he lacks that town portal. And he needs to do some scouting, but he does have a Wisp on Jens' side of the map.
A player's forces are
Oh,
under
I don't
attack.
think that's a target to be staffed on, though. Bottom, eyes wide open. Doesn't? Oh, he could still staff now. Didn't get the kill. Dude, sometimes game can be decided by 5 HP. Wild, but maybe a little bit too risky. Jens gets what he wants in the early game. Tree up, creep running. Foggy's on a timer.
Gonna get another nice item. Cloak of Shadows can be useful if daytime's around the corner. It's always nice. Foggy again. Just like earlier, gonna go for those shops in the center, or at least the contestable camps in the center. You can see mercenaries now, more piercing damage, always good against the priestess. And Assimilation will be able to clean up this and get level 3 quite easily. Then the next contestable camp going to be the lab straight across. We'll see if Foggy goes for that as well. Book of the Dead. Well, yeah, it can be used to creep. That's a fair usage, I'd say, for Foggy.
Yeah, it's all about tempo, it's all about timings, and level 3 unlock is good. Could have sold it, but then you have to get out to the shop, and stuff is not available just yet. It is a bit rough. Book of the Dead used for scouting and confirming that this expo is up, but now can he out-dribble the bottom in the middle?
Oh, Tinker's second for Foggy. An interesting choice. Not a crazy choice, again, but it's not the most conventional, that's for sure. And Tree of Life is 100% confirmed now. There is no doubt in Foggy's mind. He goes towards the main and is going to see tier 2. And with that Tinker, what? Is he hoping for Dryads, I guess, with his hero? I don't know what Foggy's hoping for with this second hero pick.
Well, Clockwork Goblins are very good against buildings. They're very good against Dryads for sure. Also against Archers, they can work tremendously well. Tinker can be an awesome hero if you allow him to, especially if there's no mana burn, and that is not the case here. So we'll see. Foggy could decide to go creeping with engineering upgrade. He has been hanging out with Dandy a little bit, who was a huge fan of the Tinker, and maybe that's rubbing off, but this Dark Ranger, I'm a huge fan of her, with maybe even Life Drain down the road.
Yeah, Silent's not going to get a lot of value, but Black Arrow will, and then Life Drain going to be good, because healing can sometimes be lacking. Of course, the idea with the Dark Ranger is it's good against Archers, and Archers are good against Dryads, so you can be the player to prioritize more on Archer numbers, and your opponent sort of has to go into Dryads because Dark Ranger does so much damage with the Skeletons and the Black Arrow. Demon Hunter tries to go for a Gold Mine cancel, but he's way too late. So just going to continue scouting with the Demon Hunter Tinker. Almost level 3 already for Foggy, though. That is a huge power spike for that hero.
He also holds the second skill point. There's no engineering upgrade. He could go rockets, and rockets are pretty crazy versus mass low HP units. Can be spammed as well. Still holding the skill points. He's not sure.
Yeah, that'd be a nice idea, actually. Not often seen in this matchup, but as you mentioned, no mana burn. It could be pretty good. Pocket Factory just to creep. Rockets for the rest. We'll see, though, as the creeping for now continues. Tier 2 for both players. No, actually, Jens is the one to go tier 3.
Against Tinker, I think it makes sense, right? Dryads aren't the greatest solution. Archers are no solution. Bears deal fairly well with that, whether that's rockets or Pocket Factory. It is rockets too. I have not seen this in a Night of Mirror ever, I think.
I think this is the first time for me as well. Pocket Factory is used a lot of times against bottom, like Mass Huntresses and stuff like that. Maybe sometimes it's a third hero with Talons, but rockets, yeah, I think this actually is a first for me.
Rockets were a winning spell by Dandy vs Guzu against Pally Rifle and the Blood Mage, and now it could be the same here, because the transition by Jens isn't over. Foggy is pushing for the grand final, and his luck is in the hands of a Tinker with rockets.
Seems to be very much all in. AP is coming up. He's not going to tier 3 behind this. He's just spending his resources on tier 2. So he's being canceled all over. And here comes back the Dark Ranger on level 2. Scroll the Beast uses their Wisp to detonate it. I don't think one nearby. There's too many buildings being made. The Shredder might have to be pulled. Lots of Archers for Jens, but currently not a heal scroll. I think that's seriously something lacking for Jens.
Foggy hasn't shown the rockets yet. He's very low on mana, so he's not using his primary spell. I'm a bit worried here, to be honest.
Yeah.
How to get the rockets out.
Very, very strange. Yeah, he's just 2 pocket factories, which would have been way better, obviously, if he had spent his skill points on that instead. But there's the first cluster rockets. Dryad's taking a lot of damage. APs get up. Moonwall gonna go down. Jens, how patient will he be? He can wait for a glaive thrower, but he doesn't currently have one in production that I can see.
Demon Hunter and Tinker both solid fighters as well, very tanky. Usually you'd support that with the engineering upgrade. That is not the case here, but a Demon Hunter doesn't need an engineering upgrade to be a machine. He needs a ring +4, and he got that. Life drain level 1, not that great yet. We've seen the impact on later stages. Dark Ranger close to 3, AP still in the base.
Marching forward now with everything. Demon Hunter has to go back to heal. Can he easily heal up? Not really. He buys potions instead. And this base is still mining Nature's Blessing for Jens finishes. He's going to lose a couple more buildings, but can rebuild with the expansion. Yeah, he's got 2 APs and extra Moonwells at his expo now. That is not going to be broken. The main base could be, but Jens also builds 2 APs defensively in his main base. Does he have a Glaive coming out? He does now. Demon Hunter's here again.
What
Weird
the
game.
hell is this game? I love it. Now we got a mana potion. Now we got lots of rockets. Needs to aim them good, but he did that 2015 to Fortitude already on Terraner Stand. Legendary game. So he has some experience with that, and running away from rockets is mission impossible.
Heal scroll burned already. One archer going to be caught in the crossfire. Life drain again. Demon Hunter not so healthy just like that. Already burned that potion. Already burned through all the moon juice. But daytime is almost over. Moonwells will soon be regenerating. Rockets again land. There's 1 more, close to 2 more left. Dark Ranger takes a lot of damage. Oh, cluster rockets. TP swapped, and Dark Ranger gets out alive. But a couple of Dryads die. A couple of archers also fall. Glaive thrower makes it out safely as well. But where's the healing for Jens?
He's stuck in his base now, unless he somehow breaks out of this contain. Support him is doing a lot. So are the Glaive Throwers. The Dark Ranger in a world of trouble. Mana potion gone though. He can't aim for those rockets once again. The expansion has become the main base to heal everything up. That Ancient of War is not gonna go up. Dark Ranger 3, if she finds a target for life drain, she's back to full health in no time.
Yeah, that's a good idea to heal her up. Maybe a Zeppelin to be able to escape for now could be decent. Double heal scroll purchased for Jens, and he staffs back home. APs are cleaned up, and Foggy, this timing was all over the place, and it seemed to not work. Now he goes tier 3, and he's just going to play up against 2 bases. He did do some structural damage for sure. Forced a lot of Ancient Protectors, an even amount of Ancient Protectors. But still, Jens is going to be happy just to live.
Jens is such an amazing storyline player, man. He's down 0-2 in the series, getting beaten on both 2 maps fairly simply. Then he survives a push against match points against him, and then he seems overwhelmed on map 4, not riding the wave of momentum, but once again he finds timing to survive, and now all cards in his hand to tie up this series. This must be Jens's game. Everything else would be a little bit of a miracle.
Unfortunate for the Dark Ranger, was using Life Drain to heal up. Used 1, got a lot of value out of it, and the second one immediately passed by the creeps before he got a single HP point from the second Life Drain. So Dark Ranger still not the healthiest. Scout now on the Priestess, probably because it's preparing for Orbs. Doesn't need Searing Arrow anymore, and a red camp for Jens. And for Foggy, counter expanding in the upper left now as well. The Tinker is still very valuable. There is no mana burn. He's going to get level 4 soon as well. Maybe retraining out of the Pocket Factory could be a good idea.
Engineering upgrade is so good, man. Increases the radius of the rockets and gives some stats to the Tinker as well. But it's not a foregone conclusion here, of course. Demon Hunter can solo a lot. Not only is there, what did you say? No bears or anything, no dryads, no dispel, doesn't have anything against the rejuve except Wisp, which we don't want to spam. It is troublesome. But yeah, next expo, lore's coming, Ancient of War for defense as well. Jens is feeling comfortable.
Player's forces are under attack. A town
Foggy
is
with the
under
Dryad
siege.
scouts the movement of Jens. Jens who's now going into the main base. 48 versus 49 supply. The production a little bit in shambles for Jens. He's trying to rebuild Ancient Wars right now. Foggy goes towards the Expo, but SimCity a little bit too good. Is Foggy going to go for the tree? Yeah, forces a teepee, but you don't want to fight in range of 4 Moonwells and 2 Ancient Protectors. So Foggy backs away. Lost a Moonwell. He's supply blocked now, too.
Okay, will be unblocked in a bit when the tree finishes. And can again go back to 50. 1,400 gold for Jens. Despite the town portals, Foggy is trying to drain some items out of him. Or buildings, but that doesn't have the biggest impact, really. Preservation Staff, 3 heal scrolls, Unholy Aura, super good. And rockets without engineering, man. They are falling off.
Orbs now finally being purchased. The first 2 are here. Third one will follow soon. I mean, Black Arrow's still pretty good, so you don't necessarily need an orb on that Dark Ranger, but the other 2 is essential. That cluster rockets that we just saw, not really feeling it. It didn't do a ton of damage. There's Pocket Factory now. He continues to be aggressive to make space for his expansion that is now going to be mining in a couple of seconds. Still Foggy struggling here to find an advantage.
Yeah, rockets will be outshined by the heal scrolls, that's for sure. But the Pocket Factory also on level 2 without the engineering upgrade. I don't think there's any spell with the Pocket Factory where the engineering upgrade kicks in harder. So much higher spawn rate of the Clockworks, which is automatically a lot more damage. So Foggy may be underestimating the passive a little bit. Huntress Hall 16 minutes in. Classic timing. Wait, how did he build? Ah, it was cancelled before? Must have. Otherwise, he has no lore.
Yeah, it was killed earlier in the first AP all in.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Okay, 67 versus 48. I'm afraid for Foggy. Foggy's trying to buy time and space. He's going into Mountain Giants as well behind this, but Jens, as soon as he gets Foggy out of his base, he might just push across the map with the huge supply lead he has.
Can he close it out though? Foggy's kill on the right-hand side to deny the third base was super important. And so it's 2-base now. Bears coming for Foggy, Mountain Giants coming, and it's only a lot of archers, like a handful of bears of course, but Mountain Giants can be incredibly powerful.
Yeah, maybe Triple Orb could help a little bit against that, but yeah, Mountain Giants are the right choice with the amount of archers we see for sure. Roar is great. Plus 11 on those archers. Sweet Jesus, that's a lot of damage from those. Oh my god.
Yep, with Roar and 3 upgrades and True Shot, that's pretty damn insane. Double Orb is up as well, which is great against MGs. No Fountain of Healing here, unlike on Concealed, for example. But what's the damage that Foggy is doing, really? I don't see it. 80 food, 80 food. I love the 2 Bottom Owls that are just taunting. Yeah. Like, I see every step you make.
The only thing we're missing now for Jens is him to get level 6 Dark Ranger and then charm the Null Overseer at the orange camp on the left-hand side. And then he has Command Aura as well. And then he'll have lots of damage on those archers. That's what I'm waiting for. Super duper late game.
Gonna be hard to get there without Reign of Chaos rules. We have Siege Archers and Glaives who is stealing away to the left-hand side. Foggy probably has to respond, and it's a little bit of a question, how do you get out of there? It's the Tinker only. Rocket spam?
Yeah, he can kind of solo these archers a little bit, but taking a lot of damage himself, of course. And now Foggy breaking the APs at the main base. Such a weird thing. Both players know exactly what they're doing, but I'm confused by what they're doing. Like, it seems like Foggy just wants to stay in the base, and Jens is trying to force him away. I don't know why, though.
AP almost kills a bear here. Shredder falls. Tree of Eternity, 50%. Aggression is the best defense. Tree of Life for Foggy down to 200. Will surely fall, or will it? Yep, the glaive, too powerful. Rock, wait, he holds. He holds for now. Bears are here too. In the main base, the Tree of Eternity is also still standing. AP is doing a lot of damage. What the hell is going on?
I do not know, but the bears are sure falling fast. Foggy is committing a lot of his units in order to keep his tree alive and to kill Jens' Tree of Eternity. Tree of Eternity did die. TP back to what was the main base to heal up. But how many bear corpses? I think 4 bears died there, 5 bears, and I think 2 to the APs in the main base as well. So, yeah, a lot of, like, almost 20, 25 supply in bears dying. Jens 72, Foggy 59, and both players mining on 1.
Currently, no potions for Jens. I think that was the big impact here. And of course, mining denied in the main. Tree of Eternity by Foggy still up. He's still mining for a minute and then has to think about a second base. Natural expansion for Jens, still mining for a long time.
The town is under siege.
Oh, red camp, look how fast it falls. And we do have Khadgar's not that great for the army that Jens has, but it's an aura still. It's good. Good for the heroes a little bit. And almost bottom level 5. Then we have level 3 True Shot plus 3 damage, Roar, and marksmanship on the archers. Love to see it. The dream.
A player's forces are
He's
under attack.
so sick. Oh, highest damage per gold in the game, archers. And level 5 is online. Oh boy. Yep, True Shot 3 now, plus 8 without Roar. And Foggy still no engineering, 63 food, and out of gold. What are you doing with your gold and what are you doing with your tree?
She's going to have to move over for sure, but then the staff is going to be a little bit less efficient. Jens rebuilding his tree despite only 1,500, but I guess, yeah, he could move it down to the bottom, right? That's okay. It'll be, it won't be the staff target anymore. He'll be staffed to his natural Jens, but luckily he rebuilt all his mood walls there, so that's kind of his main base anyway. So it all works out in the end. Oh, the Roar as well, plus 15. Oh my god.
46 damage per shot on a 130 gold unit. That's just absurd.
I don't think that... Dude, the Tinker almost died. He was in range. He has the TP. He was in range for 1 second. He was running from the army. Look at the debounder. It's half HP. There's no way. There's no way Foggy's winning this.
Yeah, I mean...
It's
Yeah.
impossible. There's no way. How was he supposed to win a fight? He's losing his heroes in half a second.
It's unreal, yeah. And Jens behind that, super stable. Built another Tree of Life in his main, no problem. Foggy is moving to the left-hand side with his tree. Got Nature's Blessing at least. But yeah, it's not that Jens is in a rush or anything, or that there's a late-game solution for Foggy, who still went for these Mountain Giant upgrades and to never build a Mountain Giant, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. He needs those for sure. That's the only thing that's going to be able to soak up the damage. I would even be afraid for the Mountain Giants.
Yep.
Like, I think they would die at this point, too.
Yep.
I got to see this fight, dude. I got to see these archers all focusing something. It's going to be ridiculous. Like, look how fast the bear's dying. That's just to the heroes.
That is 21 archers with 46 damage each.
All right.
That is 800 something damage per volley.
Yep. Oh, it's going to be hilarious. I just hope that Foggy stays long enough for us to see the damage. I hope he's a man of the people in that regard. Because I would probably just leave already.
Yep. Can you get the wall? Man, what is this Mass Tier 1 era we're living in? Happy plays
I know.
20 grunts against Pally Rifle, plays 24 ghouls against Pally Rifle. Now we see 21 archers in a mirror match.
Yep. As Hitman once put it, the hardest thing about playing mass archers is hitting every archer with your protection scroll.
Yeah, it's very true. Hitman can be a wise person sometimes.
Ooh, Mud Golem. That's a wise choice for Jens. Love that for the focus fire. Tinker. I mean, maybe if we get level 5 Tinker and he retrains fully committing to cluster rockets. I don't know if he's done that yet. I don't think he has.
Nope.
Maybe that can help him. Like, I think we need to see the heroes somehow hard carry for you, Foggy. I'm not sure how, but they need to.
Yeah, Demon Hunter Tinker, they have the potential, but they're not level 5. And there's no spot really where you can reach level 5. Demon Hunter. Oh, the Staff's on cooldown for 30 seconds. Gotta go for a TP, but he doesn't have the gold. Sells everything for 1 TP. Look at that bear melting. Lol, that was like
Jesus.
1 quarter of the army.
It wasn't even roared there either. He was
Nope.
doing that without the roar. Alright, so Foggy lives. I mean, credit to him for staying alive. Many players probably would have just overcommitted to a fight and already been dead, but Foggy realizing his win condition. He's got to lame himself to victory. He's not going to win a fight ever again, but he's got the right second hero to be laming. He's got the right units to be laming. Bears and Tinker are good against buildings, and maybe if Jens overcommits without a TP, could see Foggy get the base race that he wants.
Well, if all archers are in position, it takes like, what, 5 volleys to kill a Tree of Eternity?
We're about to see that, I guess. Yeah, die pretty quick.
Oh my god. Siege archers, boys. He has to move forward to get all the archers, and this is only half the army. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Still not every archer connected? Still not every archer connected? Jens does kill the tree. Foggy going for the counter, but yeah, look at the bears melt, bro.
Oh my god, that is a lot of damage. Cluster Rockets helps a little bit, but Jens is just attack moving. Fork Lightning kills the demon, and we do get to see how much damage the archers do all attack at the same time. That is a terrifying sight for anyone.
Why would Night Elf ever build anything else than mass archers if you look at this game?
That's what I've been saying for years.
Triple Orb 22 archers. The new dream.
Jens so far has picked very strong strategies in the last 2 games he's been successful with, and this time around, we'll go back to Keeper, and Foggy, as expected, will play the bottom.
Who's this better for now, is the question. Bottom trying to overwhelm with mass. Keeper particularly good at singling out units. Comes down to execution, but I think first and foremost, it's both players' comfort zone.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the Keeper is going to be necessarily a hard counter, but I would say it's going to be more comfortable than Demon Hunter against the Priestess. And we'll see, will Foggy go for the expansion, or will he go for some sort of all-in play? I think Foggy's been preferring the Expo play more so than the more timing pushes. Wisp is going to scout that hero if it sticks around long enough. The Wisp tends to die if it sees the Priestess, so you more so scout for the Moonwell timing, which Jens does do, and backs the Wisp away in time to not die to the Searing Arrow. That's nicely done from Jens.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to expand on Concealed Hill, though. It's such a hard expo to take. And for a push, you can build like a forward wall, basically where the creep spot ends, and then siege from there. Plus, you have access to the laboratory and your opponent doesn't. That's the way Moon would play it, preferably. But yeah, is it just a Moon copy, and how will Jens respond? Holding on against these pushes is his forte. This comes down to who executes it better, no matter the strategy.
Nice little trick there shown by Foggy. He gets entangled for Jens to try to trade a little bit better, but Foggy knows that if you just manually cast Searing Arrow, or any arrow like that, you can actually attack through Entangle, whereas if you try to auto-attack, it would not be successful. So nicely done from Foggy to win these trades.
Very nice little extra information. If you do that, the orb counts as a spell, and that's what Entangle cannot prevent.
It also gives you more attack range, which I thought for the longest time was only with Searing Arrow, but I think it's with all orbs.
Are you sure about that? I also think it's only Searing.
I know for sure it is Incinerate as well. I don't know about Cold Arrow, Black Arrow. I don't know about those.
Chat will know.
Yeah.
Jens is getting ready for the push. Second Ancient of War early on. Tier 2 pressed as well. Second heroes can help in these defenses a lot.
Again, we see the Entangle and the trade with the Searing Arrow manually casted. Jens gonna have to back up to the Moonwells. This is just such a beast in the early game, especially with Claws of Attack. And there's been full information for both players. There was a scout from Foggy, and there's been a scout from Jens as well, so they know what's going on. It's just a matter of how they react to it.
Cards are on the table. And so far, I like Jens's adjustments. Going very defensive, spending extra resources, not playing this fragile and rush, but rather conservative and slow.
Yeah, for Foggy, he's just going to keep trading, and then he's probably going to back away to the healing fountain as opposed to the moonwells, whereas Jens is so close to his base and trying to creep that he has to use his moonwells. So Foggy going to be able to heal up for free, keeps the Huntress around as a ward, and Jens, where's he going to go to next? What will he try to creep? He could try to pull the red, maybe, and go for a surround on that. It wouldn't be the worst call. The question is, will he be able to do that? Will Foggy allow him to? Remains to be seen.
Yeah, this is a lot of yellow dots already close on Jens's base. Who seems comfortable now, leaving that. Going for the next green spot. Keeper level 3 with level 2 entangle is brutal. Foggy gathering the troops. There's no expansion, no mass dryads. This is an all-in, and then game 5 is over. What the outcome is, we'll see.
A little bit of a creep jack here. This could be a town portal for Jens if he gets caught out of position by the Huntresses. He now realizes if they get on top of the archers, Jens should immediately TP because he will lose every single archer in a matter of seconds. Should probably TP right now. Is he going to keep running? I feel like there's the TP. Loses one archer, but still better. He would have lost every single archer if he kept running.
Yeah. 130 gold, not the end of the world. Bottom claims the shop for herself. No blockers. This will surely cost some moon juice, but that should be plenty. And then ideally, you never look back anyway, because you want to end the game with a push that's to come. Keeper is getting close to level 3 as well. With the shop, he gets it. Scouting continues, and Bottom got watch awards. Okay, so not much hiding for Foggy with the first AP up, but instant scout by Jens.
Yeah, Jens playing defensive. He thought about creeping the shop and then said, nope, I'm not going to get cut out of position without a town portal. He's got 2 Ancient of Wars, Glaive Thrower coming up, and Foggy. I feel like Foggy's going to struggle to end with a push. Jens seems so defensive and prepared for that all-in that Foggy might want to at least scout and maybe go for a tech or go for an expansion, something like that. I do fear for Foggy if he goes for the all-in.
Very much so. Jens on the way to a reverse sweep. Can you believe it? It's been a long series. Foggy's second series of the day. But I agree with you, man. Double Ancient of War, super stable. It's not too much moon juice drained. That's awesome. So many archers still alive, all protected in the base. We got the 2 glaive throwers coming. This doesn't get much better than this, and there's still room for a second hero too.
Lots of options for that second hero. Wisp is scouting. Jens is trying to get level 3 before the push comes, and will off this green camp. There it is, but the Keeper is a little bit out of position. Have to be careful. He tries to get to the shop. Is he surrounded?
Wow.
Oh no, he runs right into it.
He lost the TP earlier. Reminder when the archers were jumped onto, and here we are praising Jens, but one oversight can lose you games. Keeper down the dirt. And Foggy is back in the series. Holy moly. The push, is it still alive? Is it still the plan? He kind of has to.
Keeper, Tavern revived, Clarity goes to the shop. Unfortunately, if he wants to buy a Staff of Teleportation from the shop, it wasn't fully prepped, so he'll have to get that Clarity canceled. Creeping for what might be a Zeppelin. Then he can maybe... Oh, he's already got the heal scroll. Everything lining up for Foggy now. Yeah, I think that was nighttime vision for Jens. It was only just during the day. So Foggy comes out of Fog of War, immediately locks in the 4-point surround. Much easier said than done from Foggy. Nicely played.
Level 4 on the bottom now. Mighty Searing Arrow, Mighty True Shot, Heal Scroll Protection, and the Zeppelin. Classic Moon play, the Ancient Protector, as he was used for creeping far away from where he wants to be, but there can still be damage done. Archer, say hello to the Zeppelin. Everything's fragile now, but you got a siege with the glaives and build a wall of APs, and then double down. We go into Glaive Thrower Mirror.
Keeper of the Grove is catching out reinforcements. Killed one Huntress, is waiting to maybe buy a staff from the shop, but now the Glaives are starting to deal with the Moonwells. Keeper is forced back, and Jens might have to take a suboptimal fight. Huntress doesn't come out of the Zeppelin. Not completely on top of the archers, but still getting good damage. Ancient of War involved as well.
Protection Scroll, amazing for more defense. The Glaives trying to keep on attacking, but the Treants are hunting. Damage uptime, not too crazy. Next Moonwell about to fall. Huntress suffering.
Oh, very, very messy fight. Both players losing a lot. Still 3 healthy Huntresses. Everything is dead, though. It's just going to end up being Glaive Throwers and 2 heroes. If it's just 2 heroes, though, I do feel like the Potom is going to have the advantage with the Searing Arrow. Moonwells are dry. Shop at least is up at the back, and Moonwells being rebuilt. Treants are going to try to deal with the Glaive Throwers in the back. And what do we have? 25? I'll make that 29 versus 38. Supply advantage for Foggy. Almost level 5 on the Priestess as well.
And if Foggy kills this next Moonwell, Jens is stuck at 30 and facing elimination, despite being quite far ahead. Can the Glaive still get a shot out? Maybe. Lots and lots of tree, and Jens is investing every single mana drop he got.
Some expire, but more can be resummoned. If he can kill that AP, maybe he can fight out in the open. Jens wouldn't mind getting a Zeppelin himself as well. Not a ton of anti-air on the side of Foggy. And, well, still 1 hit away from dying, but Jens for now takes advantage of his not capped out supply. More Treants. But there are now Wisps to detonate those Treants.
4 Glaive Throwers. Exactly. Well done. That's more experience on the bottom. So close to 5. Jens with the repair has the resources. 33 food against 44. Foggy marching forward. The second Night of Mirror in the row that he might be able to win against Sonic. It was a very clean affair against Jens. He had to fight hard. But the walls are closing in on the Chilenian.
Yeah, way too many Glaives. Look how fast everything's dying. All the production being killed. Jens has to fight. He has to fight, but every time he goes to engage, Foggy just backs up to the AP.
So smart.
Just slowly but surely, Jens is being torn apart. He's got 1 Ancient of War. That's all of his production. It's about to be killed, though.
No Alta anymore either. Level 5 on the bottom. That is plus 19 damage on every single Glaive Thrower. And plus 6, of course, on the Hunts. Very well played. Of course, a little gift by Jens. Didn't keep the nerves together at one moment in time. Huntress all about to fall here, though. If the Keeper can do it, Foggy is aiming for the trees, and maybe that's an overcommitment.
Maybe a little bit overambitious. Obviously, there's no production for Jens currently. He's trying to rebuild the Ancient of War, so the Archers he loses, he will not be able to rebuild, and it's just too much pressure. Foggy, some adversity, but he gets the 3-2 in the end.
Oh, my lord! 2-0 up, then 2-2 evened out, but he keeps his nerves together as the competitor that he is. And on map 5, when it matters most, Foggy pulls ahead once again. Unbelievable Night of Mirror with so much variety when it comes to heroes, strategies, timings, units. Everything was different in every single game. And the beauty of Night of Mirror, the potential of Night of Mirror, once again in full display. Jens had a wonderful tournament run. Couldn't close it out, unfortunately, but once again, in the Western scene, he is a force to be reckoned with. And oh boy, I want to see this man versus Labby, versus Soin, in a mirror match versus Remind. They have no clue what's coming for them.